I was a staff member at the YWCA, and that's where Friendship Hall was. I believe that at the time they were looking for a place they could hold services.
They wanted to see a black church in Olympia, Washington.
In the summer of 1975, in the port town of Olympia, Washington, a few families gathered. And over the duration of 50 years, we've opened doors, we've built spaces, we've prayed with the hurting, we've mentored youth, we've stood in protest, we've knelt in prayer, and through every act of care, we've become the church. This is the story of the New Life Baptist Church, our founding, our refining, and the people who kept the faith.
"575 blacks resided here in 1975, scattered throughout the county. The black church in Thurston County came about out of need. There was no coming together of people around church, religion, culture.
And the executive director, Ethel Roche, was very involved in helping us get church started, because she opened it up and said you could meet here at Friendship Hall.
Reverend Marshall, he was excited about the idea of starting a church. And so it was like, okay, look like God is answering several prayers here at once. You know, we have a chance to start a church. We have a minister ready to help start a church. We have a place to start a church. And we have a small group of people ready to go in the direction of a black Baptist church.
And because Olympia was less areas for black people to meet, the Y was the spot.
John Grace was a piano tuner. He had serviced and kept tuned the upright piano in Friendship Hall for YWCA. John was the kind of person, you show him a piano, and he was never short of a song. And I remember the very first song that we sang that Sunday was "What a Friend We Have in Jesus."
He's passed away 2 years ago. John Grace. He was loved by everybody.
But we had church that Sunday. And as we were breaking up and leaving, I said, well, what are we going to call ourselves? And John said, this is a new life for me. Pickford was the most likely person to pick up where Marshall was leaving off.
Church had been vacant for a number of years, I guess. Two couples co-signed for the church. And that was Pastor Pickford and his wife, and me and my wife. Let me tell you, I worried about her for 10 years.
It was a happy place, a joyful place. People were coming, serving. I mean, it didn't take long to start a choir, start a deacon board.
We heard about New Life. We started going to New Life back in '79. And when Pickford was the pastor, I started a lodge called the Fred U. Harris Lodge. And we were meeting in the basement of New Life Baptist Church. We figured it was more than fitting for us to be a part of New Life.
And to have a church building with the pulpit and pews and all that we call ours, once we got a building, the membership continued to grow.
Reverend Morris was an associate pastor at Shiloh Baptist Church. He was very familiar with New Life. New Life had associated very closely with all those Tacoma churches. And so when they advertised for a pastor, he applied.
He was a people person.
People would call him sometime 12 or 1 o'clock at night. He was there.
It was thriving. It was thriving. He was a different kind of person from Pickford. He was much more community focused, community oriented.
It was his preaching, and most of all, it was his community outreach.
He was out there. He let members of the congregation know that he was truly their pastor. Let the community know that we are a community.
It was just a blessing that we had somewhere to go, and we had so many members that were just involved, and the community was involved as well. We were part of the community.
In the outreach program, there were children that couldn't come to church. He had a bus that got filled because the van couldn't make all the different areas. We went to the auction. He keep putting a little paddle up, and he said, Deacon Major's gonna kill me.
Of course, he had a couple of children himself.
He would be out there playing ball, organizing picnics, taking the kids on field trips on Saturdays.
He out there playing football or something, or was trying to tackle the kids, when we have event.
The kids just loved him.
Anytime one of the teenagers involved in problems, he would go to bat for them.
He had personal relationships with police chiefs and judges. If a young person got in some kind of trouble with the law and had a trial or something, there sat Reverend Morris with that kid.
Matter of fact, under him, we used to all go to the prison once a month, have a service.
Anything happened, school, wherever that, he was there.
We grew tremendously under Reverend Morris. Prison ministry and youth choir.
Helping feed the homeless, giving clothes, giving socks.
Just out there, and just attracting all kinds of people.
It didn't take long for it to grow quite a bit.
And he was so popular that people, they didn't have enough room for one service.
You couldn't find a parking place.
People blocking driveways, having to walk 2 or 3 blocks to get to the church.
I think we finally wound up with around 700 members.
People were attracted to the church. They liked what they found. They liked the programs for the children. They liked the various opportunities to serve. Fred U. Harris Lodge was born, and it was just exactly the kind of vision for what a black church needed to be like.
Really quite a time.
It was a joyous time, though. I know that for sure.
It was one of the most painful, hurting thing any congregation could have tried to absorb. It's not like he had been sick, not like, he's there every day. He preached on that Sunday, kind of dancing on his crutches. This is the last time you're going to see me with these sticks. This cast comes off on Tuesday. When I go back to the doctor, just happy. We were all happy for him. And you can only imagine what it was like when the word began to flow through that Reverend Morris was gone. What you mean gone? Gone where? We had just seen him Sunday in the pulpit. And it was hard to absorb. It was hard to even grasp. But it was the reality.
I feel like he's just a regular friend, like somebody I've known all my life.
They would build a church on a hill. And the church is built on a hill. And he said, I may never get to preach in it. He said that I may never get to preach in it, but I have that vision, and it was to build the church on a hill. And there's the hill. Here we are. So, God got a way of doing things.
He liked everybody. Everybody loved him. He was really missed, and people even mention him now after all these years. That Pastor Morris, Pastor Morris, Pastor Morris.
It held together pretty good after Reverend Morris passed. We just committed. We're going to follow through.
They all pulled together as a family. We didn't have a permanent leader, but we did have a permanent leader. It was God. But the church didn't fold, so don't tell me there ain't no God.
We met and we decided to continue in his name to raise the funds.
There was a groundbreaking and the sign, future site of New Life Baptist Church. That felt so good. We actually had a mortgage burning ceremony at the church on Puget, but it was sold prematurely.
Moved around for a number while they were building this church.
And for 2 years, we were like nomads, looking from one place to another.
There was chaos because the walls wasn't done and bathroom and stuff, but we was going from building to building.
So we had work parties. Everybody was so invested, clearing brush. You know, we saved a lot of money doing a lot of stuff ourselves.
We had a first service that we had folding chairs all over here.
But yeah, we built this church in a really proud moment.
The initiation of Bishop A.R. Obey's tenure was the fulfillment of the dream and vision that had been birthed in the heart of Pastor Wendell D. Morris, but still nonetheless unfulfilled. That Texas preacher with nuance, proclamation, and ability to offer charisma set this pulpit ablaze and sent tremors up and down this I-5 corridor as we experienced unprecedented growth in the life of our congregation. One of the most pivotal and impactful times in the life of our congregation. Bishop Lorenzo Peterson would come to New Life Baptist Church in one of the most unpredictable and difficult times of our world, the COVID-19 years. Stewarding ministry, offering parking lot praise and worship, ministering and mouthing the message of hope through a mask, checking temperatures and social distancing while at the same time seeking to grow near and nigh to a congregation of people who were looking for the warmth that he would provide. What a powerful and prolific and certainly what an impactful leader as he offered himself as the 5th pastor of the New Life Baptist Church.
As we move forward, what kind of person are we looking for in our next pastor? What are our needs? What are the things we need to be cognizant of? So this is how Reverend Reeves got here.
Yours truly, I have the privilege to lead us forward with vision, compassion, and certainly a sincere conviction.
He put you in the mind of Reverend Morris a whole heap of lot because he's a people person. He don't talk at you or he don't talk down to you. He talk to you.
He's dynamic but warm. He's rigid but flexible. I don't know how else to describe him. And he took some time just talking to people, just listening to people.
We got a new life, a new start, a new beginning, and we got a new pastor.
Our victories, our collective struggle is bound by shared humanity. It's been oftentimes said to me, what we can't do alone, we can do together.
We got a dynamic pastor.
It's a moral duty and a shared responsibility for each of us.
He reminds me so much of Pastor Morris, every time I see him, just a little young Reverend Morris.
Back with the exception of Cousin Lad.
Well, this 42 years old, he take you back.
way where you despise, thumb your nose down at, and or be disrespectful of those who are the least, the lost, the last, and the left out. No, with your privileged self, there's more you ought to do. With your bougie self, there's more that you can give. With your wealthy self, there's more that you can contribute. With your intellectual self, there's more that God has for you to do. And
we're at the precipice of one of the most pivotal moments in the life of the Black church proper, where we have to say the things that need to be said, offering the kind of tangible, practical truth in what we're preaching and teaching, not just in word, but also in deed, so that they can take those messages not as sound bites, but take those messages as pure and non-perverse doctrinal truths that bring people to a place of understanding what grace looks like, what mercy looks like, what compassion looks like, what love looks like, and where it has its role. We have to, say now what needs to be said in the trenches and the throes of it, where our young brothers and sisters and sons and daughters and loved ones are learning perhaps a new message. Our churches no longer can afford to be 1 day on, 6 days off.
He's been a real good voice to say church isn't just about Sunday. It's Monday through Sunday.
People in the Bible help those that needed help.
We have a significant number of unhoused. We have a growing food fragility. Last year, there was a 40% increase in terms of the persons we fed. Those who are socially, economically disadvantaged individuals are persons who patronize our food bank, who beneficiaries of our clothing drive, of our sock drive. Those types of practical needs being met speak to really the idea of what our vision is supposed to be about.
With the pastor now, we're getting back into doing things like that, making sure that we helping the community as much as we can.
Don't look down on somebody else. Listen, you picking them up.
Change. We're not the same church we were 10 years ago, 25 years ago, certainly 50.
So I see us being one of those congregational spaces that's always looking to meet the needs and looking to move ministry in the gaps and spaces perhaps where people would least expect them to exist.
If we're to survive and not fall by the wayside like thousands of other churches, it's going to take that kind of dynamic leadership, that kind of visionary leadership, that kind of person out there in the community.
Churches are built from relationships, and community is all about relationships. Being able to connect with people, learning who they are, understanding what their story is, what their narrative is, at the bedrock of building a congregational community. You can't do that without building faithful and real relationships with people.
He's brought that refreshing atmosphere and climate.
I see New Life Baptist Church being one of the most impactful churches in the South Sound.
We'll keep on doing what the Lord told us to do.
"50 years ago, a few gathered in Friendship Hall at the Olympia YWCA, not with riches, but with resolve. They came with a vision to build a church where the word would be preached, the spirit would be free, and the people would be welcome. From that seed, the New Life Baptist Church was born, a beacon of hope in Thurston County, a Black-led witness in a predominantly white region, a house for healing, a station for God's service. Through the decades, through change and challenge, God has shown himself faithful to each and every one of us. Let us remember today with gratitude the names of so many who've helped us to walk this way. Certainly already having been mentioned, Pastor Marshall, and certainly Pastor Pickford, who helped root our foundation in faith. Individuals like certainly the Pastor Wendell Morris, whose community-driven leadership reflected the heart of a shepherd.
Pastor and Bishop A.R. Obi, whose energy reawakened our praise, and Pastor Peterson, who brought us back to the streets to serve our neighbor. This church was not built by pastors alone. It stands today in the spirit of love of a Deacon Simon, whose every handshake was a ministry. On the sacrifices of a Deacon Johnny Majors, who's labored without spotlight but left an eternal mark. On the gentleness of gentlemen like a Deacon John Grace, who calmed storms with the word and warmed hearts with his presence and heavenly piano musical gift. On the servant's heart of Sister Rose Taylor, who found joy in hidden corners of service, and Dr. Thelma Jackson, a trailblazer and certainly a woman of persistence. Her excellence as she offers it to our community. We cannot tell the truth of 50 years of this 50-year journey without naming the fire we've known, the loss and difficulty we've known, up times as well as down times. We've disagreed, we've wrestled, we've grieved, but we never stopped loving one another. We never stopped believing that by the grace of God, we would be who God has called us to be as the New Life Baptist Church. We've emerged church wiser, more unified, refined by the Spirit of God. We're not who we used to be. And thanks be to God, we're not done becoming who God has called us to be.